Good day everyone, this is Jenny's fashion channel. Thanks to all my amazing fans and subscribers. This channel is all about leveling up on your fashion designing skill, and today I'm going to teach you how to cut this beautiful bustier. So if it is what you are all about, you are definitely at the right place. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, now will be a very good time for you to smash on the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I upload a new video. Without further ado, let's jump right in, shall we? The first thing is to draw a line as my baseline. Then I will come down by 10 inches for my bust line, taking 5.5 inches off. Okay, for the off shoulder drawers, you can take 6 inches off, you can take 7 inches off. It purely depends on you. I will mark and draw the line. Then the next thing is to get my under bust line, and for me to get my under bust line, I'm going to come down by 3.5 inches from the bust line. But if you're a bigger size, you come down by 4 inches. If you're a smaller size, you come down by 3 inches. I will mark and draw the line. Then I will come down by 17 inches for the half cut, and I'm going to add half an inch for joining allowance. I will mark and draw the lines. Then I will take my nipple to nipple measurement, divide by 2. Then I will add half an inch for joining allowance. I will mark it on the bust line. Then I'm going to connect it straight down to the joining allowance line like so. Then the next thing is to get the under bust dart, and for me to get the under bust dart, I'm going to take the difference between the bust line and the under bust line, and I have 3.5 inches there, so I'm going to divide it by 2. It will give me 1.75 inches. I will divide 1.75 inches by 2 again. It will give me 0.88 inch. Then I'm going to take 0.88 inch to the left and 1.75 inches to the right. I will mark it. Then I'm going to come down from my bust point by 1 inch. This is to remove any form of pointiness on the bust area. I will mark and connect to the under bust dart like so. Then I'm going to connect the under bust dart straight down to the joining allowance line like so. Then I'm going to measure what I have on my bust point, and I have 4 inches there. That's nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2 will give me 3.5 inches plus half an inch for joining allowance to give me 4 inches. Then I'm going to add 1 inch to it. It will give me 5 inches. I'm going to mark it on the baseline. Then I'm going to connect it to the bust point like so. Then the next thing is to get the overbust dart for the overbust starting. So I'm going to go in by 1 inch and go out by 1 inch. Then I'm going to come up by half an inch from the bust point. I will mark it and connect to the overbust dart like so. Then I'll go ahead and measure my toe cups. So after measuring, I found out that the one at the right side is bigger than the one at the left side with about half an inch. So I'm going to extend this very one at the left side with half an inch so that the two cups will be equal, so that one cup will not be shorter than the other. Then I'm going to take my shoulder measurement divide by 2. Then I'm going to minus 2 inches from it, because what we are working on is an off shoulder dress. Okay, then I'm going to replace these 2 inches that intake here plus 1 inch for joining the dart, because I'm going to use half inch to join the dart on the left side and the one at the right side. Okay, then I'm going to mark it. Then the next thing is to get my armhole depth, and for me to get my armhole depth, I'm going to take my bust measurement divide by 6 plus 1.5 inches. Okay, my armhole depth point is 8.1 inches, but remember that we have taken 5.5 inches off for the up shoulder, so I'm going to come down by 2.6 inches from the baseline. I will mark it and I'm going to connect like so. Then I will draw a horizontal line from those points as my chest line. Then I'm going to take my bust measurement divide by 4. I'm going to replace this dart intake here plus extra 1 inch, okay, for joining the dart. I will mark it on the chest line. Then I'm going to connect like so. Then the next thing is to get my bustier neckline. So I'm going to come down by 1/2 inch from the bust line. Though those purely depends on you. You can do beyond that. You can do below that. It depends on the amount of cleavage you want to expose there. I will mark and I will connect like so. Then I'm going to connect this my armhole curve to the dart like so. So this our initial curve will be ignored. Then I will take my horizontal measurement on the chest line. I'm going to add 2 inches for joining allowance. On the bust line, I'm going to take my bust measurement divide by 4. I'm going to add 2 inches for joining allowance and 1 inch for joining the dart. Then on the under bust line, I'm going to take my under bust measurement divide by 4. I'm going to replace this dart intake here plus 2 inches for joining allowance and 1 inch for joining the dart. Then on the waistline, I'm going to take my waist measurement divide by 4. I'm going to replace this dart intake here plus 2 inches for joining allowance and 1 inch for joining the dart. I will mark it and mark the same thing on the joining allowance line like so. Then I will connect my markings to serve as a guide for cutting. So guys, this is it for drafting. I will now go ahead and cut. So follow me closely. Let's cut. So guys, this is it. You can see how perfect it came out. We now move over to the back panel. The first thing is to draw a line as my baseline. Then I will take out my zipper allowance. You can use 1 inch, you can use 1.5 inches. I will mark and draw the line. Then I will come down by 10 inches for my bust line, taking 5.5 inches off, just the same way we did on the front part of the dress. Then I will come down by 17 inches for my waistline, and I will add 1/2 inch for joining. I will mark and draw the lines. Then I will take my nipple to nipple measurement divide by 2. I will mark it on the bust line and I will connect it straight down to the joining allowance line like so. Then the next thing is to get my dart. So I'm going to go in from this my waist point by 1/2 inch and go out by 1/2 inch. Then I'm going to extend this my bust point with 1 inch and I will connect like so. Then I'm going to take my shoulder measurement divide by 2. Then I will minus 2 inches, just the same way we did on the front part of the dress. I will mark it. Then I'm going to get my armhole depth as we calculated on the front part of the dress. I will mark and I'm going to connect as well. Then I will draw a horizontal line from those points as my chest line. Then I'm going to take my bust measurement divide by 4. Then I will mark it on the chest line and I'm going to connect like so to get a perfect armhole curve. Then for the neck curve, I'm going to go up by 1 inch from the bust point, okay? It purely depends on you. You can do beyond that, you can do below that. Then I will mark and connect like so to give it a V kind of shape. And I will take my horizontal measurement on the chest line. I'm going to add 2 inches for joining allowance. On the bust line, I'm going to take my bust measurement divide by 4 plus 2 inches for joining allowance. On the waistline, I'm going to take my waist measurement divide by 4. I'm going to replace this dart intake here plus 2 inches for joining allowance. I will mark it and mark the same thing on the joining allowance line like so. Then I will connect my markings to serve as a guide for cutting. Then on this my waist point, I'm going to go in by 1/2 inch. This is to remove any form of bulginess on the waist area. I will mark and I'm going to connect like so. Then I will take my zipper and I'm using 1 inch for my zipper. On the waistline, I will start taking my zipper from that 1/2 inch I went in with. Then I will carry on like so and I will connect my markings. So guys, this is it. I will now go ahead and cut. So guys, this is it. It is that simple. If my pattern paper was on fold, this should be too. So this is all I have for you for today. If you find this tutorial helpful, please subscribe, comment, like, and share. See you in my next video. Bye.